Okay, so recently I've been talking a lot about selling cars by consignment basis. And to recap, all right, to reiterate, right, selling cars by consignment basically is a way for you to leverage on the services of a used car dealer whilst at the same time be able to get a bigger percentage of your car's resale value back. So for example, if your car is worth 100,000 ringgit in the market, right? If you if you trade in to a used car dealer, you probably get about 60K to 70K if you are lucky. All right. Now, if you want to get the full 100K back for yourself, you need to sell yourself, right? But selling by consignment method allows you to get anywhere between 80K to 90K out of 100K back. So I would say that it is a good in between method for you to get as much money back as possible, all right, whilst still enjoy the convenience of having the process everything done for you. But this is not a perfect process. It is not suitable for everybody. And somebody in the comment section of one of my recent videos quite rightly pointed out there are limitations to this model. And in this video, I want to disclose to you what are the limitations of selling by consignment basis so that you are able to make an informed decision when it comes to buying and selling your car, which is the path that you want to take. So first thing, let's distinguish between selling by consignment versus selling direct to a dealer or trading in. So basically, when you trade in your car to a dealer, the dealer is taking cold hard cash out, paying you, nah, here, take my money, I take your car off you, and on the spot, immediately, you sign your car off. Okay, so at that point in time, immediately the car has nothing to do with you already. The moment you receive the money, even gearbox break, engine break also, none of your business. But the flip side is, because this risk is now transferred to the dealer, well, dealer is going to press your price for it. Hence why out of 100,000 ringgit, you only get back 60 to 70,000 ringgit. Now, selling by consignment, in contrast, is you go to the dealer. Dealer say, okay, I sell the car on your behalf. The distinction here is that in selling by consignment basis, the ownership of the car is still in your hands. The car legally still belongs to you. All right. So what this means is that you still have to pay road tax. You still have to pay insurance. You still have to pay the bank installments if the car is still under loan. All right. So that is one thing. Now, second thing is time. The second difference is time. When you trade into a used car dealer, you get immediately, you walk away with money, even though it's less. But selling by consignment basis, your money only comes in, even though you get more money back, your money only comes in when a buyer appears. Okay, so it's a trade-off, right? You want less money, you want money now, but settle for less, or you want a bigger sum, but wait for it. Okay, now that sort of extends into the question of what about the bank loan, the outstanding loan. Now this is where things get a little complicated if you're selling by consignment basis. You see, the rule is this: if you want to sell your car and you still have a loan, you have to clear the loan first. So when you trade your car into a used car dealer will pay, right, whatever it is. What used car dealer will do is, okay, let's say, like, for example, your car has still got a loan, right? Used car dealer will first settle with the bank, whatever difference will pay you and will take your car. Now, in the event that whatever that the used car dealer offers you is not enough to cover your loan, what you will do is you will first calculate the difference between the used car dealer's offer and your loan balance. You will pay to to the bank the amount to set whatever it is, the difference, and used car dealer will pay their share of it. So in that sense, right, if you have to top up money to the bank, here's a tip. You top up direct to the bank, your money don't lalu through the used car dealer. Why? Because you don't know if you still, at least at the very least, if the deal goes sour, right, whatever money that you take out, it went into clearing your loan. Okay, it went into your loan account. The money was deployed for your benefit. All right, and then the used car dealer will bang in his share. Your loan is settled, and then take the car off you. When it comes to selling by consignment, what needs to be done is that because the car still belongs to you. Now, firstly, right, if let's say the dealer tells you you have to top up, you have to pay the loan first, that one, you don't have to do that. What you have to do is, okay, you just hand the car over, you keep servicing the loan. When a buyer is found, all right, meaning when a buyer is already put deposit, loan approved already, that is when, okay, if possible, if you have the full amounts of cash rate available, take that money, settle it. All right. And then after that, once the buyer side release the money, then after that only can you do the JPJ thumbprint to do the name transfer. And that's when you receive your payment for the car. All right. So when it comes to selling by consignment, remember the sequence. Settle your outstanding loan first, then only name transfer of car can be done, and then you are paid. So the thing is, you can wait until the moment a buyer is confirmed, then only you pay. But what if you don't have the liquidity, you don't have the liquid cash in hand to pay the loan out? So this is when you can talk to the used car dealer. Most dealers will have the facility to help you settle the loan for a fee. Okay, so let's say, for example, if it's, let's say you need to help settle 80%. The other concern that I always get is, the other question that I always get is, hey, if I park my car there, is it safe or not? Well, let's put it this way. Taking your car is a big responsibility on the dealer's part. So there are people who have this assumption that, hey, if I leave my car at the dealer will abuse the car or whatever not. But here's the reality. The dealer is more scared of the car gonna damage than you. Because remember this, in most consignment arrangements, the dealer's profit is tied to how much they can sell your car for. So if put yourself in the dealer's shoe, will you allow something to happen to the car that would affect its selling price? Will you allow something to happen to the car that would potentially result in the dealer needing to pay you compensation? The answer is no. In fact, most of the time, when I work on all these cases, right, I always tell people, I'm more scared of anything happen to the car than you are. In fact, when it comes to handling customer viewing and test drive, right, dealers are usually stricter for cars on consignment basis than they are with cars of their own stock. Because if, let's say, their own stock gonna damage, it's sort of like they can handle the blow. But if other people's car gonna damage, they've got to take responsibility. Now, some people also ask me, hey, can I take my car back? This is my only car, right? Or some people, they really just cannot afford to, they just cannot lepas tangan of their car, which I don't understand, because if you are already have the mind to sell your car, right, you want to put your car in a position where you maximize the chances of it being sold. So in the selling by consignment model, yes, you can take your car back, no problem. But what I will say is leaving your car at the dealer maximizes the chances of it being sold. Why? Because at any point in time, the dealer is doing all the marketing, listing and all that, right? So inquiry come in. Let's say like got 5 inquiries. Are you going to all 5 inquiries? Going to take time off your work, take time off your busy schedule, drive the car to the dealer and wait for the viewer, the prospect to come and view the car? And don't forget, in this line of work, prospects always from fake one. They will miss appointment. They will say, I have to fetch my daughter from school. Sorry, I'm running late. Right? They arrive at 1 hour later, 2 hours later. Are you ready to wait there? So the thing is that yes, you have the right to hang on to your car. You don't have to leave your car with the dealer, but leaving your car with the dealer usually maximizes your chance of selling the car. Okay, so these are the kind of concerns that sellers usually have or need to know when it comes to selling your cars by consignment basis. Now, but what about for buyers? Is there any difference when you go to a used car dealer, you buy a car that's the used car dealer stock versus you buy a car that's on consignment? Yes, there is. Okay, yes, there is. And this is something that because of, see, the thing is that, right, the used car dealer will do its best to scrutinize the car, to do its due diligence of the car, but sometimes details are missed. So the thing is, sometimes even for me, right, when I introduce a car that I'm helping people to sell to a viewer, to a buyer, sometimes when they ask me certain questions, I will straight tell I don't know. I don't know, because when a dealer is selling by consignment, now all they're operating on, right, is what the seller tells them. Okay, so what I would say is that, I mean, we can do all the workshop inspections and we can do all the things like, go find screwed record and all that can be done, right? But like any other used car, without exception, my advice to you as a potential buyer is have the car inspected by a workshop that you trust. Have the car inspected by a workshop that you trust. All right. So get a pre-purchase inspection done, right, by somebody that you trust. I cannot emphasize this enough. Okay. So only then because different set of eyes are often reveal different details, and even if the car already come with a health report, it doesn't hurt to have someone else look into the car again, because the people who check those cars, who produce those reports, they are human too. They also make mistakes and they can miss details. Okay, so and of course, yes, there is also the one risk. Okay, there's also one more risk when it comes to the buyer. All right, when it comes to selling by consignment basis, is that there are times when, and this one has not happened to me personally, but it has happened to some of my friends in the industry. Buyer put booking, loan approved, seller make a last minute decision to not sell. This has happened before. This has happened before. Okay, so I mean, on our part, all right, what we can do is we can put some certain pre-qualifiers to ascertain that whether is this person serious in selling the car or not. Okay, and sometimes we can sense from the energy of the owner, all right, like whether is he willing to leave the car with us, whether the kind of questions that they ask, we can sort of ascertain whether this guy is really serious in selling the car or not. But sometimes there's no guarantee, because human emotions by nature are unpredictable. The fellow may have a change of heart and decide that, hey, I want to keep this car, and then there's nothing you can do about it. Whereas versus if you buy a car from the used car dealer stock, used car dealer won't have change of heart one. You want to buy their car, they're happy. Okay, you put deposit down, you do the bank loan, 90% of the time you sure get your car one. All right, Although, that being said, I have also heard before cases whereby the used car dealer suddenly put up a wayang because later we found out behind the scenes a bigger offer came in. Not ethical, but it happens. The process of selling a car by consignment basis. So the whole objective of this is that for sellers, it is to help you get back as much money back from your car as possible while still allowing you to enjoy the convenience of the processes done for you as if as you sold your car to a dealership. Okay? So it means that rather than you get back 60% or 70% of your car's value, you can potentially get back 80-90%. Okay? For the buyer, because you have eliminated the used car dealer's fat margin in this transaction, you have the potential of being able to acquire the car at a slightly below market price. Slightly below market price. Okay, and of course for the used car dealer, they are able to do business at a much lower risk because they don't have to come up with, you know, every time 70k, 80k, 100k, 200k to buy stocks of cars to sell. All right, they can sell cars on people's behalf, and you know they can still keep a large chunk of their money as liquid cash. Now, the flip side, of course, here is the downside here, of course, is that for the seller, you have to wait for buyer to come, buy your car before you get your money. All right, so there's the wait involved for the seller, and you have to be ready to settle the bank loan up front. For the buyer, well, the biggest risk for the buyer is that in this case, there is that risk that seller may fong fake or the seller is not entirely honest with the dealer, and that can create in miscommunication or a broken sale. That can happen. Okay, and of course for the used car dealer, what this also means is that this model allows for, it's less capital intensive, okay, but at the same time the amount of profit also happens to be smaller. Okay, so it's not a perfect model per se, but if you are somebody, you are looking to get more money back from selling your car and you don't mind that wait, this model is for you. Okay, so anyways, not as just to share again, this Sunday, 6th of July, I am organizing a one-day event at Strand Kota, Damansara, where you can bring your cars, park there for free, and and connect direct between buyer and seller. Okay, participation is free. You only need to pay, okay, firstly, 4 ringgit parking fee. Okay, this is from the mall parking, not from us. And secondly, you only pay if you choose to engage our services in whether it's process to do JPJ name transfer or Puspacom inspection or buyer bank loan. All right, this is if you require assistance with that processing, then processing fees apply. But if you deal direct between buyer and seller and you go settle everything yourself, that one is totally free. Okay, so you can register your interest. Link to the form is in the description section below. I look forward to see you in the next video. Take care, stay safe, I'll see you soon.